All right, we are ready to start. And first, thank you all for being here. My name is Keyshawn Pearson. I am the leader of Memphis Community Against Pollution. And as a leader in our community fighting for environmental justice and being in opposition to the pollution and extraction that the Colossus One data center that has been built to serve Elon Musk and his companies has brought to our city, especially Southwest Memphis. From their announcement on June 5th, 2024, I've alerted our elected officials and designated public institutions like the Shelby County Health Department to the concerns of our community. Without a single public meeting with their bordering communities, xAI announced that they were operating at 100% September of 2024 using methane gas burning turbines to power their facility in a microgrid. Since then, xAI has irresponsibly and unlawfully operated up to 33 methane gas turbines and contributed between 1,200 and 2,000 tons of nitrogen oxide into our air. In addition, added approximately 17.1 tons of formaldehyde, a known carcinogen. Only dead bodies are meant to come into contact with that type of chemical. The continuous poisoning of our air is not a new phenomenon. Sterilization Services of Tennessee, who has closed their doors, thank God, spew ethylene oxide into our air for decades. The Tennessee Valley Authority and the Valero Oil Refinery continue to spew toxins into our air. The cost of corporate toxic infrastructure is our health. The cost of this artificial intelligence experiment is our air. According to the Tennessee Department of Health, our children experience more asthma emergencies every year than any other county in our state. Our city remains a capital for asthma, according to the American Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America, and we continue to fail in the area of air quality, according to the American Lung Association. I don't have to rely on numbers or statistics. I myself have severe allergies. I have a family who has a hard time breathing here in our city every day. I have family members who have lost jobs because they have to make it to the emergency room because their children have asthma. I watched my own brother live because of a nebulizer when he was a child. The Shelby County Health Department has a responsibility to care for our community. It's time for them to step up. The accelerating of a billionaire's experiment and the exploitation of black families has to end here. Permitting one of the city's largest polluters was ridiculous and a slap in the face to our community. Everybody deserves clean air. Everybody deserves a healthy environment, and the Shelby County Health Department should rescind the permit and start to uphold their mission to promote, protect, and improve the health of all in Shelby County, not the few. In the coming weeks, Memphis Community Against Pollution will release a report in collaboration with the Center for Engagement, Environmental Justice, and Health that will illustrate the air quality challenges that our community is living with every single day. Chronic exposure to pollution is costing our families their quality of life and their life expectancies. We should not be rewarding polluters. They should be reprimanded. Thank you. And I'll turn it over to Latricia Adams, CEO and founder of Young, Gifted, and Green.
Good morning. Again, my name is Latricia Adams. I'm the daughter of South Memphis, where my mom and dad, they met, they fell in love, and got married. 38109 was also the last place where my father took his last breath on December the 17th, 2022. My story is not an anomaly. It's the story of many black families that have lost loved ones living in 38109. That is the most polluted zip code in Shelby County, with at least 17 industrial polluters. According to archives from the EPA's Environmental Justice Screening Tool, 38109 ranked well above the national average for both air pollution, polluted discharge, and public health issues such as asthma. Again, according to the American Lung Association's State of the Air report, Shelby County consistently scores an F. Even though Shelby County has a sordid history with non-attainment where air quality fails to meet national ambient air quality standards, requiring them to develop a plan to improve air quality under the Clean Air Act, they still welcome polluters into Black communities with welcome arms and faulty permits. Additionally, according to the CDC, respiratory issues, especially asthma, are a major reason why kids miss school, with asthma alone causing millions of missed days of school and affecting roughly half of asthmatic children who miss at least one day yearly, disproportionately impacting Black children, Latino children, and children from families experiencing economic distress. We are putting Memphis and Shelby County leaders on notice, honoring the words of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who took his last breath here. We're coming to cash a check. Because even with Black leadership, they continue to give Black citizens a bad check with insufficient funds while selling our lungs to the highest bidder. We're not asking and not even demanding, but we are taking justice and our rights to freedom, not tomorrow, not next month, or even next year, but today. Allowing a business to pollute the air with NOx and formaldehyde for nearly 1 year with no permit or regulatory oversight is egregious. But moving forward to issue a faulty permit is very dangerous. A very dangerous precedent that we are saying stops now today. A permit with an absence of an environmental and public health risk assessments, no considerations of cumulative impacts and co-pollutants is deplorable and reflects the continuation of white supremacy by the hands of inconsiderate bureaucrats being paid by taxpayer dollars to hand out permits like candy. We demand air permitting reform in Shelby County. We demand the end to sacrifice zones in Black communities. We demand humanity and dignity for Black people just like my ancestors. Sanitation workers who changed the course of history when they said no more. Welcome to the new generation of the environmental justice movement and find somewhere else to play because South Memphis is not your playground. Good day.
Hi, my name is Sarah Gladney, and I am a resident of the Boxtown community. The Boxtown community has endured and been overburdened with pollution for decades. The fight never ceases. We won't stop fighting. We have endured many, many months and many hours of pollution from xAI facility. We wasn't given the ability, the time, the voice to sit at the table and discuss the facility and how it affects us. We're sick and tired of being tired. That's right. And we're asking the Shelby County Health Department to rescind all permits to the xAI. And we want to breathe clean air, and it is our right to breathe clean air. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Shannon Samsa. I'm a lifelong South Haven resident and a recent physician assistant graduate. I'm here because we've started a grassroots coalition, Safe and Sound, in South Haven in response to the South Haven xAI power plant, which is already running 18 gas turbines and plans to install 14 permanent turbines. This project was approved with no air permits, no independent health or environmental studies, and no public input from the communities being impacted. xAI is exploiting a regulatory exemption to run their turbines without a permit, just like they did in Memphis. The turbines have been operating since at least mid-August. A November email from xAI's consultants to Mississippi Department of Environmental Quality confirms that many of them are running 16 to 24 hours a day. And just to clarify, because there's been a bit of confusion about this, the power plant and the data center at Powers are two different locations. The Colossus 2 data center is in Whitehaven on Tulane Road, and the power plant with the turbines is about a mile south in South Haven on Stanton Road South. To South Haven residents, the facility was framed as the start of the former Duke Energy site, even though that plant has been inactive for more than 20 years. South Haven Mayor Darren Musselwhite admitted in direct correspondence that he engaged in months of internal planning with engineers and consultants before the public ever found out. He also implied he signed a non-disclosure agreement. To date, the only public communications our group is aware of have been a Facebook post and a city blog entry, both from the mayor. There have been no city-led meetings, no mailings, no press releases, and no proactive outreach to residents. Any other responses from city officials only came after residents reached out first. The mayor also stated that he'd been in discussions with MDEQ long before any formal permitting process, but no documentation of that has been provided. If those conversations happen, then they happen behind closed doors. Residents who live next to the site didn't even know it existed until they heard the turbines and turned to Facebook asking what was going on. I'm just a private citizen, and yet I was the one who had to explain it to them. I'm not a lawyer or a politician, but over the past few months, I've had to teach myself how to read emissions reports and dig through permitting laws, interpret city ordinances, and organize public data. And frankly, I shouldn't have had to. I shouldn't have to be standing here speaking at a press conference today.
Right.
We should be able to trust that the people responsible for protecting us are actually doing it. People in South Haven and Horn Lake are already dealing with constant noise and vibration from the power plant and its turbines, impacting their sleep, focus, mental health, and everyday life. City officials have refused to acknowledge the turbines as the source of the noise. Their responses have been inconsistent and contradictory, and no meaningful action has been taken despite months of complaints. Before the noise even started, himself stated that there was no concern for noise and all due diligence had been done. I don't live close enough to hear the turbines or be impacted by them myself. I want to let residents speak for themselves. So here are just a few of their quotes. It's 24/7. I just got home from work again at 12:30 a.m. and it's roaring again. 4 a.m. and it can be heard from my bed while trying to fall back asleep. It never ends. This high-pitched noise can be heard inside my house. All night, every night, zero relief. Someone please tell me y'all know what this is. It's driving me batty and it's getting louder every day. It bothers my cats and dogs too. Sounds like a train idling on the tracks, but it goes on all day. Just took my it's loud as heck. It actually hurts my ears. I heard it nonstop all night long. I couldn't even fall asleep. My daughter came to the neighborhood. It vibrates her eardrums and agitates her. Local code enforcement and police tell me there's nothing they can do. So we just get to suffer until we lose our hearing. I'll go insane first. These are real comments from real people who live near this facility, and they are still waiting for relief. And yet, when this issue was brought up at a recent Board of Aldermen meeting, the mayor's response was that the plan was still pending, and, quote, because it's an economic development, this is probably not the appropriate place to discuss that. It's hard to overstate how dangerous this facility could be and possibly already is. These turbines are releasing massive amounts of countless pollutants that are linked to health conditions like asthma, stroke, heart attacks, and cancer. Those who are most at risk are children, seniors, and those with chronic health conditions. This is not some remote site. It is smack in the middle of our communities. It is located on the border of Horn Lake and South Haven. It is less than a mile from Whitehaven. It is only 1,500 feet from the nearest homes. It is within 1 mile of at least 3 neighborhoods, and it is within a 2-mile radius of 11 parks, 2 libraries, 27 churches, 3 daycares, and over 10 schools. And this isn't even a complete list. These are children with developing lungs, brains, and bodies, and I worry for all of us, but I worry most of all for them. My husband and I wanted to start a family here, and we're not so sure anymore. We've spoken with several local teachers who have also expressed serious concern about the power plant, but they don't feel safe speaking publicly due to the possibility of putting their job at risk. We also don't know where this facility's water is coming from. The data center will require far more water than the power plant, but MLGW has confirmed they will not be supplying it. The last well permit, according to MDEQ, at the power plant site expired in 2011, and there has been no new permit applied for. MDEQ records show that the 10 turbines are using water injection for emission control. South Haven records show only about 99,000 gallons used from September 8th to October 8th, and that was the last water bill that the city had on record to give to us. So all of this information leads us back to the same question: where is the rest of the water coming from? The mayor has vaguely referenced city lines, the Memphis sand aquifer, and future water recycling, but no permits, timelines, or documentation have been shared. So for all these reasons and more, our coalition has launched a petition calling on MDEQ and the city of South Haven to immediately halt all operations of the xAI power plant. We're demanding a full stop until independent third-party health and environmental impact studies are completed and publicly reviewed with true community input and oversight. xAI is gambling with our air, our water, and our health because they can afford to.
That's right.
We cannot afford the consequences.
That's
We only get one home and we only get one body, and once the damage is done, it's done. And I just want my community to understand what's happening and what is at stake before it is too late.
Hi, my name is Marquita Bradshaw. I am Climate and Justice Chair of NAACP. The NAACP is calling for Shelby County Health Department to put strong regulations on xAI. We're asking our members to show up and speak out at the upcoming town hall. The public appeal hearing is scheduled December the 15th at the University of Memphis University Center, which is 499 University Drive, Memphis, Tennessee, 38111 at 9:30 a.m. However, the health department has not provided an actual room number. The University Center is pretty big, right? So we need more transparency from the health department in this public hearing, and we need strong regulations to address what people are experiencing close to the communities that are most marginalized by xAI. My father lives in that area, and he's in a senior community, and our most vulnerable populations are our seniors and our children, and we have to protect them. And so not only the NAACP members, but I'm encouraging everybody that care about people and their health and the environment to show up and speak out.
Thank you. All right, we will take questions now.
Can you tell us when the date of that meeting was one more time?
December 15th at 9:30 a.m., the University of Memphis University Center.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, this young lady said MLG and W is responsible for the water in South Haven as well?
They said they will not be supplying water for Colossus 2, the data center in Whitehaven. Sorry, should I explain? They said they will not, MLGW has said they are not supplying water for the Colossus 2 data center in Whitehaven. The power plant in South Haven, according to the mayor, may be supplied from city water lines, which we've seen 99,000 gallons used in the last bill on file for the South Haven City Water Company.
If you were to talk to the permits, right, what would be the next step? What will you all be doing?
So a part of the reason that we are here today is to do two things. Is to demand that the permit is rescinded, and if that is done, then we set a new precedent. And setting a new precedent about how polluters are engaged and how our public institutions support the people over the profit of these corporations, that is the work that we will continue to do. Our concern now, the Colossus 1 facility, and our concern continues to be the development of the Colossus 2 facility. And so our work will just continue to try to protect our communities in Whitehaven and South Haven who are being affected by the noise pollution and by the pollution in the air by these methane gas turbines. All right, thank y'all.